Hi team. So I wanted to talk again with another video to learn a little more situational baseball. So remember the last video, we talked about the general field, right? We talked about the infield, which is on the dirt. We talked about home plate, which is where everybody starts to bat, first base, second base, third base, and then again back to home. That is the infield. Then we talked about the green area, which is the outfield. So remember, I'm just going to review this really quick. We have different positions. The catcher is behind home plate. The pitcher is right around the middle here. There's usually a little mound that they call little small thing that you call the pitcher's mound. But the pitcher's here. The first baseman is really close to first base. The second baseman is between first and second in this general area, sometimes a little closer to second. The shortstop here is between second and third. And then your third baseman is really close to third base. The rest of your players are in the outfield. You have your left fielder, center fielder, and right fielder. And remember, all of these positions look that way when you're looking from this position. When you're the batter, that's why we call that left, that center, that right. All right? So that was the general gist of what we talked about last time. Now remember, when you're playing the game, the goal is to score as many runs as you can when you're batting. And then the defense is the one that's out here right now. They're trying to prevent you from doing that. They're trying to get you out. And the way that you can get people out is by a few ways. Sometimes when the batter, here's the batter, let's pretend this yellow thing is the batter. When they hit the ball and they start to run to first base, the usual way of getting somebody out, if they start to hit it and run, if that ball goes to anyone here in the infield, could be the pitcher, the third baseman, shortstop, second baseman, first base. If you get that ball and it's hit on the ground to you, that means you field the ball, you pick it up, and then you throw it to first base. If you can do that before the runner crosses first base, that's how you get an out. So let's pretend TeTe is right here at second base, okay? There she is. That ball, and we're going to pretend for right now that we're going to pretend this piece right here is the ball. All right. And we're going to pretend this is the runner. So here's the batter. They hit the ball and they start running. They hit the ball to TeTe here at second base. If TeTe gets that ball, picks it up and throws it over here to first base, and the first baseman catches it with his foot on the base before this runner gets across, that will be an out. That's a great thing. That's what you want to do. The same thing would happen if somebody else did it. So say there was another batter up right here, and they hit the ball to the pitcher. They hit it, the pitcher gets it, they start running. The first baseman always runs to the first base, and then the pitcher throws it over there to the first baseman. If the first baseman catches that ball with his foot on the bag or scoops it up before this runner crosses first base, that person is out. So that's what you want to do. It doesn't matter where it goes. It could go to the third baseman. It could go to the shortstop. It could even go to the first baseman. If the first baseman were to get the ball that's hit to him, he would just pick it up and go step on first base. He wouldn't have to throw it because he's right by the base. He would just step on the base. So the goal is to get outs. You field the ball, you get the ground ball like we practiced, and then you throw it to the first baseman. That's the most basic way to get an out, okay? Or again, if you're the first baseman, you pick up the ball and you just step on that. So same thing can happen with the catcher here. So let's say a ball, again, we'll say this is the ball this time. Let's say this is the hitter. They hit the ball and the ball goes to like right there. That happens a lot. This hitter is going to start running as fast as they can. Well, in this case, either the pitcher or the catcher can go after that ball. And normally you both want to go after it, and whoever gets there first would pick it up, and then your job is to throw the ball to the first baseman, okay? So the catcher has an important job here too, because a lot of balls don't get hit very far, and the catcher can run after, pick them up, and then they throw the ball over here, okay? So that's the most basic play. Now, another thing that can happen to get an out is that the ball's hit in the air to somebody, okay? So when that happens, if the ball's hit in the air and it hasn't touched the ground, and say it goes to the pitcher, if that person catches the ball in the air, the baseball runner or the hitter is out automatically. They can run as fast as they want to first base, but if somebody catches it in the air and don't drop it, then it's an out, That's another way. So when you catch the ball in the air, you don't have to throw it to the first baseman. If you catch it, you're good. Now, if it hits the ground first, you always have to have it thrown. So same thing. Ball could be hit to the third baseman, to the shortstop, to the second baseman, or the first baseman. Anyone can catch the ball in the air, including the outfielders. And if that happens, the batter is out. So that's a really good thing. Now I want to talk about something else. So basically, that's the most common way. A ball's going to get hit on the ground to one of these players, right, in the infield. If it happens, you pick up the ball and you throw it over here to first base. You don't run it there. You don't do it. You just pick it up and you throw it there, okay? The most important part is whoever's playing first base, if a ball's hit, you have to go over to this base and put your foot on the base and get ready for a throw to be thrown to you, okay? If you don't do that, even if we field the ball, we can't do anything with it. The first baseman has to cover first base, put their foot on it, and get ready to receive the throw, okay? That's important. Now, again, the other thing that sometimes happens, we talked about ground balls going over. You pick it up, you throw it over to first base before the runner gets there and that person's out. Sometimes the ball goes into the outfield, right? Whether it goes in the air or whether it rolls through the infield and it gets out here. In this case, what you're going to want to do, if you're the outfielder, and we're going to keep this simple, there's all kinds of different things you can do, but for the sake of what we're doing and learning, your job is going to be to throw the ball to second base. If you're in the outfield, you don't throw to first base. You never throw here. All right. First of all, you'll never get it there in time before the person comes. Your job is to pick up the ball and throw to second base. Now, we practiced this the other week. The important job, the shortstop here and the second baseman here have the responsibility of going to second base when that ball goes in the outfield, and they have to cover the second base. Because if this runner hits the ball and runs, and this ball goes out to the outfield. So let's pretend this yellow thing's the ball that's traveling out here, and it goes to the right fielder, okay? Here goes this runner. They might decide to go to second base if the right fielder, the player out here, doesn't pick it up cleanly and throw it into second. So when that happens, this guy's going to turn, he's going to start running and try to get here. So your job as the outfielder, when you get the ball, which is this right now, you're going to throw it into second base. So usually what would happen if a ball goes over, so imagine a center line here. So, right, you have home plate and second base. There's a center line right down here, all right, imaginary line, just like this. If the ball goes to this side, so this area, right, if it goes to the right fielder or over in this area, anywhere over here, this person, again, is going to pick it up, throw here, but the shortstop is the one to cover the base. So when that ball goes over here, this player will throw it to second base to the shortstop, okay? And it's because it's on this side, this guy runs over. The opposite happens. Let's say this ball gets hit out to here, to the left fielder. In this case, the second baseman goes to second base, and this player throws it to there, okay? Now, you can do this a few different ways, but that's the most common thing that will happen. So when you're playing second base and shortstop, you have to remember there's times you have to go to second base. And sometimes people forget, that's fine. You can both, for right now, go to second base and just talk. So like wherever the ball's hit in the outfield, somebody needs to be on second base so these players can throw it to you. And you can talk. If you both go there, let's just say Gabe was here and TeTe was here, and you both go to the base to catch it like that, you can say, hey, I got it. And one of you will just kind of move off to the side and the other one can catch it. Just like this person can move off to the side and the other one can catch it, okay? So that's what we want to do. Whenever the ball's hit to the outfield, there's a lot of complicated things that can happen. But for our sake, we want to make this simple. I just want you guys for right now to throw it to second base no matter what, okay? There will be times when we learn later. There are other times where you can throw it to third, you can throw it to home. But for now, we want to throw it to second base to keep it simple, okay? So let's review again. Remember, we have the infielders here. They're primarily going to get the ground balls. And when they get the ground balls hit to them, when it goes on the ground, they're going to throw it over here to the first baseman who's going to have his foot on the base, and he's going to try to catch it, or she, whoever's over there. All right? Or If a ball's hit in the air, if anyone out in the defense, in the infield or the outfield, catches the ball, that runner and that hitter is out, okay? That's another way to do it. But let's say the ball gets through. Let's say the ball gets through. The outfielders, these players, are going to always throw it to second base for right now, okay? Until we get a little better, we're going to just throw to second base, okay? And again, the shortstop, this player, and the second baseman have to go to second base to catch that ball, okay? That's the most important thing for right now. Okay, we'll do another video later, guys. Hope you have fun. I know these are long. Bye.